The massive Zarin warship floated in the darkness of space, its purple-tinted hull reflecting distant starlight. On its bridge, Fleet Commander Xartuk clicked his mandibles in satisfaction. His sensors had finally found what the Empire wanted: a new world to conquer. The third planet of this yellow star looked perfect. "Another primitive species to add to our collection," he said to his crew. None of them knew they were about to make the biggest mistake in their empire's history. Down on Earth, in the hidden military base deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, Commander Rachel Cooper stared at the massive screen showing multiple red dots approaching Earth. Her blue eyes narrowed as she studied their formation. After 15 years of preparing for this moment, first contact was finally happening, but not the way they had hoped. "Those ships are in attack formation," Lieutenant David Martinez said, standing beside her. His fingers moved quickly over the control panel, bringing up more detailed scans. "Their weapons are charged." Rachel nodded. They had expected this. For the past 20 years, ever since they had found the alien spacecraft buried in Antarctic ice, Earth had been getting ready. While the world went about its normal life, a secret group of scientists and military personnel worked underground, learning and building. "Dr. Wright," Rachel called out to her AI specialist, "what's the status of our shields?" Emily Wright looked up from her station, her red hair tied back in a tight bun. "Shield systems are at full power, Commander. The quantum field is stable." The aliens didn't know it, but Earth wasn't defenseless. The ancient spacecraft they had found contained technology far beyond anything the Zarkan Empire possessed. 20 years of careful study and reverse engineering had given Earth an advantage no one in the galaxy expected them to have. Rachel watched as the alien fleet grew closer. They had sent a message earlier, claiming to come in peace, but Earth's new sensors could detect their weapon systems powering up. The Zarkan thought they were dealing with helpless prey. They were wrong. "Their main fleet is approaching Mars," Jack Sullivan reported from the weapons station. His hands hovered over the controls, ready but steady. "They're trying to look peaceful, but their energy readings tell a different story." Rachel took a deep breath. The weight of humanity's first major space battle rested on her shoulders. The ENS Defender, Earth's first true warship, waited silently behind Mars, hidden from the alien fleet's sensors by technology they couldn't even detect. "All stations, report," Rachel ordered, walking to the center of the bridge. "Engineering ready," came the voice of Kevin Foster over the comm. "Quantum fold drive is hot and waiting." "Weapons primed," Sullivan confirmed. "AI systems green," Wright added. "Communication standing by," Martinez said. The alien fleet was now passing Mars, their huge ships moving with obvious confidence. They thought they were about to find another easy target. Instead, they were walking into a trap. Rachel straightened her uniform. "Send the warning message," she ordered. Martinez pressed a few buttons, and the prepared message went out in all known alien languages. "This is Commander Rachel Cooper of the Earth Naval Ship Defender. Your weapons are armed and your approach is hostile. Withdraw immediately or face the consequences." On his ship, Tartuk laughed when he received the message. These primitives had detected their weapons. Impressive, but useless. His fleet had conquered hundreds of worlds. One more would make no difference. "Prepare to fire warning shots," he ordered. "Show these humans their place in the galaxy." But before his gunners could act, sensors started screaming warnings. Behind Mars, something massive was appearing. The Defender rose like a ghost, its sleek hull gleaming with a faint blue glow from its shield systems. The alien crew froze in shock. This was impossible. Primitive worlds didn't have ships like this. The vessel was smaller than their ships, but something about it seemed wrong. Their sensors couldn't get clear readings. Rachel allowed herself a small smile. "Target their lead ship's engines only," she ordered. "Let's show them Earth isn't as helpless as they thought." The Defender's main weapon powered up, drawing on technology the Zarkan couldn't understand. Humanity's first shot in an interstellar war was about to be fired, and the galaxy would never be the same. Fleet Commander Xartuk stared at the strange Earth ship, feeling something he hadn't experienced in centuries of conquest. Fear. Something told him his empire had just made a terrible mistake. The bridge of the ENS Defender was silent as everyone watched the alien fleet's reaction. The Zarkin ships hung in space, their purple hulls shimmering against the black backdrop of space. For 30 seconds, nothing moved. They're powering up their main weapons. David Martinez called out from his station. His hands moved quickly across the control panel. All ships, not just the lead vessel. Rachel Cooper nodded calmly. This was the moment they had trained for. Dr. Wright, bring our shields to full power. Mr. Sullivan, prepare to show them what Earth can do. The first alien shots came fast, bright green beams of energy that streaked across space toward the Defender. The Zarkan expected their weapons to tear through the Earth ship's hull. Instead, the beams hit a wall of shimmering blue energy and simply disappeared. In his command chair, Fleet Commander Xartuk stood up in shock. "Impossible," he shouted. "Fire again. Full power." The alien fleet launched everything they had. Beams, missiles, and plasma bolts flew toward the Earth ship. The Defender's shield glowed brighter but held firm. Not a single shot got through. Emily Wright smiled at her console as she watched the shield readings. "Power levels stable, Commander. The quantum field is actually getting stronger as it absorbs their attacks, just like the simulations predicted." Rachel walked to the front of the bridge, watching the light show outside. "Mr. Sullivan, target their weapon systems. Non-lethal shots only. Let's show them what we learned from that ship in Antarctica." Jack Sullivan's fingers danced across his weapons panel. The Defender's main gun hummed to life. It didn't fire beams or missiles. Instead, it released pulses of blue-white energy that moved faster than the alien sensors could track. The shots hit 5 Zarkin ships at once. Their weapon systems sparked and went dark. The alien ships drifted, unable to fire back. "How?" Xartuk demanded, watching his fleet's best weapons fail. "Their technology. It's not possible for such a young race." In engineering, Kevin Foster monitored the Defender's power systems with pride. The quantum core they had built using the Antarctic ship's designs was working perfectly. It gave them more power than the entire alien fleet combined. "Fleet Commander," Rachel's voice came through on all Zarkin channels. "This is your final warning. Leave Earth space now, or we will disable all of your ships." The alien fleet hung in space, their mighty warships now looking less impressive. Some of the ships were starting to turn around. The Zarkan had never faced anything like this before. David Martinez looked up from his scans. "Commander, they're talking to each other. A lot of scared voices out there. I don't think anyone's ever stood up to them like this." Rachel watched the alien ships carefully. The Defender had more weapons they hadn't even shown yet. The Antarctic ship had given them technology centuries ahead of the Zarkan Empire. But Rachel didn't want to destroy them. Earth just needed to show it wasn't weak. Xartuk made his decision. "All ships, retreat," he ordered. His voice shook with rage and fear. "Return to base. The High Command must know about this." The alien ships turned around, their engines glowing bright as they prepared to leave. The mighty Zarkan fleet was running away from a single Earth ship. "They're powering up their faster-than-light drives," Emily reported. "Looks like they really are leaving." The bridge crew watched as the alien fleet disappeared into flashes of light, leaving Earth's solar system as quickly as they had come. Their first space battle was over, and humanity had won without destroying a single ship. Rachel finally allowed herself to relax slightly. "Send a message to Earth Command," she told Martinez. "First contact complete. Earth is safe, but we need to prepare. They'll be back with a bigger fleet once they report what happened." The crew knew this was just the beginning. The galaxy would soon learn that humans weren't easy targets. Earth had kept its advanced technology secret for 20 years, learning and building. Now the galaxy would have to deal with a humanity that could defend itself. David looked at the empty space where the alien fleet had been. Think they'll tell their leaders the truth about what happened here? Rachel shook her head. Would you believe that a primitive world beat your best ships? No, they'll be back. And next time, we'll be ready to show them even more of what humanity can do. 3 days after the first battle, the Zarin returned. This time, they brought 30 ships instead of 10. The massive alien fleet dropped out of faster-than-light travel near Jupiter, their engines glowing bright against the gas giant's storms. Well, they certainly didn't waste any time, Rachel Cooper said, watching the fleet on the Defender's main screen. But this time, Earth was even more ready. Jack Sullivan checked his weapons display. They brought their big guns this time, Commander. Those are their best warships, the kind they use to destroy whole planets. But Rachel wasn't worried. During the past 3 days, Kevin Foster and his engineering team had made the Defender even stronger. They had studied the data from the first battle and improved their systems. On the lead Zarin ship, High Admiral Venrock stood tall and proud. He had personally led the Empire's fleet for 200 years. No one had ever beaten him. These humans got lucky once, he told his crew. Show them what a real Zarin attack looks like. The alien fleet moved forward, spreading out in an attack pattern. Their ships glowed with powerful weapons, ready to fire. But Rachel had a surprise waiting. Dr. Wright, activate the new defense screen. Emily Wright pressed several buttons on her console. A soft blue field spread out from the Defender, growing larger and larger. The alien ships suddenly slowed down, as if they were trying to move through thick Sara. What is this? Venrock demanded as his ship crawled forward. Nothing can slow our ships in space. David Martinez smiled at his readings. The quantum field is working perfectly. Their engines are fighting against it, but they can't break free. Rachel stood up. Now was the time to show the galaxy that humanity wasn't just lucky. They were stronger than anyone knew. Mr. Sullivan, she ordered, disable their ships. 1 shot each. Show them our new targeting system. Jack's fingers moved fast over his control panel. The Defender's main gun fired 30 times in less than 10 seconds. Each shot hit perfectly, cutting through the alien shields like they weren't even there. One by one, the mighty Zarin warships lost power. In his command room, High Admiral Venrock couldn't believe what he was seeing. His best ships, the pride of the Empire, were being turned off like lights. A single Earth ship was beating his whole fleet. Impossible, he shouted. No one has this kind of technology. No one. But the proof was right in front of him. His ships floated helpless in space, caught in Earth's strange blue field. Only their life support systems still worked. Rachel opened a channel to all ships. High Admiral, your fleet is disabled. We could destroy your ships, but we don't want to. Earth doesn't seek war. We only want peace and to be left alone. The bridge of the Defender was quiet as they waited for an answer. Finally, Venrock's voice came through, shaking with anger and fear. 300 years, he said. The Empire has conquered worlds for 300 years. Never has any race done this to our ships. He paused. What are you humans? Rachel looked at her crew. Emily with her clever AI systems, Jack with his perfect shots, Kevin keeping their engines running better than anyone thought possible, and David watching over them all. Just normal humans doing amazing things. We're people who learn to protect ourselves, she answered. Now take your ships and go. Tell your Empire that Earth is not for conquering. The blue field disappeared. One by one, the alien ships got their power back. The mighty Zarin fleet turned around, leaving even faster than the first time. Emily checked her screens. They're gone, Commander. Long-range sensors show them heading straight back to their Empire. David turned in his chair. Think they'll come back again. Rachel looked at the empty space where the alien fleet had been. Not to fight, she said. The galaxy's about to change. The Zarin Empire just learned they're not the strongest anymore, and we're about to learn we're not alone in wanting freedom. As if to prove her right, new signals started coming in. Hundreds of messages from other worlds, all saying the same thing. Earth had given them hope. The age of the Zarin Empire was ending, and a new day was beginning. Jack looked at his weapons panel. Not bad for our first week in space. The crew laughed. Earth's first steps into the galaxy had been bigger than anyone expected, but they were ready for whatever came next. The Galactic Council chamber was huge, with tall crystal walls that reached up into darkness. Representatives from 1,000 worlds sat in rising circles, all talking at once. News of Earth's victory over the Zarin fleet had spread fast, and everyone wanted answers. Ambassador Lisa Reynolds stood calmly at the center of it all. She wore a simple blue Earth uniform, with the ENS Defender visible through the chamber's clear walls where it floated in space behind her. Earth's warship had caused quite a stir when it appeared at the council station. "Silence," shouted the council leader, an old alien with gray skin. "Earth's representative will speak." Lisa looked around the chamber. Most of the aliens looked worried. Some looked hopeful. The Zarin seats were empty. They had refused to come. "Earth thanks the council for this chance to speak," she began. "For too long, the Zarin Empire has bullied smaller worlds. We're here to say that time is over." Whispers filled the chamber. On the Defender's bridge, Rachel Cooper watched the meeting on the main screen. Her ship's sensors showed 20 Zarin warships hiding behind a nearby moon, but they kept their distance. Commander David Martinez called out, "We're getting signals from all over the station. Lots of aliens want to talk to us privately." Rachel nodded. "Good. That's why we came." Back in the council chamber, different aliens were standing up to speak. Most were angry at Earth for daring to fight the Empire, but some had different messages. A small green alien stood. "The Zarin took my world 30 years ago," she said. "How did Earth beat their best ships?" Before Lisa could answer, another alien jumped up. "The Empire killed half my people when they invaded. We want to know Earth's secrets too." More and more stood up, all telling similar stories. The Zarin Empire had hurt many worlds, and now those worlds saw hope. Lisa raised her hands for quiet. "Earth doesn't want to rule anyone. We want to help. The galaxy should be free." On the Defender, Emily Wright was sorting through hundreds of incoming messages. "Commander, you need to see this," she said. "It's from something called the Resistance Alliance." Rachel moved to Emily's station. The message was simple. Many worlds had been secretly working together against the Empire. Now they wanted Earth's help. "Send it to Ambassador Reynolds," Rachel ordered. Things were moving faster than they had planned. In the council chamber, Lisa read the message on her small screen. She looked up at all the alien faces watching her. "Earth didn't come here to start a war," she said. "But we won't stand by while the Empire hurts others. Any world that wants freedom can count on our help." The chamber erupted in noise. Some aliens cheered. Others shouted in anger. The council leader tried to restore order. Suddenly, Jack Sullivan's voice came over Lisa's earpiece. "Ambassador, those Zarin ships are moving. They're powering up weapons." Lisa didn't even blink. "If the Empire's ships behind the moon attack this station," she said loudly, "they should know the Defender can disable them all in seconds. Just like last time." The chamber went silent. On their ships, the Zarin commanders quickly powered down their weapons. They had learned their lesson about fighting Earth ships. "The galaxy is changing," Lisa continued. "Earth invites any world that wants freedom to join us. Together, we can build something better than an empire." She looked around the chamber one last time. "The choice is yours. Stay under the Empire's control or stand with Earth and be free." As she walked out, dozens of alien representatives followed her. The Resistance Alliance members were coming out of hiding. More worlds would follow. On the Defender, Rachel watched the aliens gathering around their ship. "Send a message to Earth," she told Martinez. "Tell them Phase 1 worked. The galaxy is ready for change." "Think the Zarin will try to stop this?" David asked. Rachel looked at the Empire's ships, still hiding behind the moon. They'll try, but they're not the strongest anymore. And now everyone knows it. The council meeting was over, but its effects would spread across the galaxy. Earth had shown up with more than just powerful weapons. They had brought hope. And hope, as the Empire was about to learn, was the strongest force in the universe. 1 month after the council meeting, Earth's moon base was busier than ever. Ships from 20 different alien worlds filled the sky above it. Each one carried leaders who wanted to join Earth's alliance against the Zarin Empire. Chief Engineer Kevin Foster stood in the main hangar, looking at all the different alien ships. "Never thought I'd be teaching aliens how to build quantum shields," he said, shaking his head. Around him, engineers from many worlds worked together. They studied Earth's defense systems and learned how to make their own ships stronger. Earth had decided to share some of its technology with trusted allies. In the base's main meeting room, Commander Rachel Cooper met with leaders from the new alliance. Star maps covered the walls, showing which worlds wanted to break free from the Empire. "The Zarkan are pulling their ships back to their core worlds," she explained, pointing to the maps. "They're scared. That gives us time to make our alliance stronger." An alien leader with blue skin stood up. "My people have fought the Empire in secret for years, but now they run from our ships because we have Earth's shields." Rachel nodded. The quantum shield technology from the Antarctic ship had changed everything. The Empire's weapons couldn't hurt protected ships anymore. On the Defender, which floated above the moon base, David Martinez watched the radar screens. "Another group of refugee ships coming in," he told Emily Wright. "Looks like 3 more worlds want to join us." Emily checked the ships with her AI systems. "They're clear. No Empire spies this time." She smiled. "The Zarkan tried that trick last week. Didn't work out so well for them." Down in the base's training center, Jack Sullivan worked with alien weapons officers. He showed them how to fight better, how to protect their people without killing. "Power isn't about destroying things," he told them. "It's about being strong enough that you don't have to." The aliens learned fast. Soon their ships were working together, practicing moves that would have been impossible a month ago. Ambassador Lisa Reynolds walked into the training center. "Good news," she announced. 5 more worlds just left the Empire. They want to join our defense coalition." That was their new name, the Galactic Defense Coalition. Not an empire, but a group of free worlds working together. In his office on the moon base, Kevin looked at reports from coalition ships. Earth's technology was spreading, making their allies stronger every day. But they were careful about who they trusted with it. "Commander," he called Rachel on the comm. "The new coalition fleet is ready for its first real mission." Rachel had been waiting for this, a whole fleet of ships with Earth's technology, crewed by people who wanted freedom. It was time to show the galaxy what they could do. She called all coalition ships. "This is Commander Cooper. Today we show the Empire that everything has changed. Our first mission is to protect the Betra system. Their world asked for freedom, and the Empire sent ships to punish them." The coalition fleet gathered above the moon. 50 ships from 20 different worlds, all working together. Each one had Earth's shields and weapons, but more importantly, they had hope. "Look at that," David said from his station on the Defender. "A month ago, these aliens were scared to fight back. Now they're ready to help others be free." Rachel watched the fleet form up around her ship. The Defender would lead them, showing the way to a better future. "Coalition fleet, prepare for light jump," she ordered. "The people of Betra are waiting for us." As the ships disappeared into faster-than-light travel, Earth's moon base kept working. More aliens arrived every day, ready to learn and join the fight for freedom. The Zarkan Empire had ruled through fear for centuries. But they never understood that fear only works until someone shows people how to be brave. Earth had done more than share technology. They had shared courage. And courage, spreading across the galaxy like starlight, was something the Empire could never stop. The warning came at midnight Earth time. The Zarkan Empire had gathered its entire fleet, over 300 warships, and was heading toward Earth. "They're done running," Rachel Cooper said, looking at the Defender's main screen. "They're coming to end this once and for all." The Coalition fleet gathered near Saturn. 80 ships now had Earth's technology, but they were still outnumbered 4-1. The Empire had called in every ship they had. "They're desperate," David Martinez said from his station. "They know they're losing control of the galaxy. This is their last chance to stay in power." Rachel nodded. The past 2 months had seen 40 worlds break free from the Empire. Now the Zarkan were betting everything on one big attack. Emily Wright studied her screens carefully. "Commander, I found something interesting in their ship designs. Every Zarkan warship has the same weak spot, right where their power core meets their shields." That was the kind of information they needed. Rachel called all Coalition ships. "This is Commander Cooper. We know we're outnumbered, but remember, their weapons can't hurt us. We have the shields, we have the training, and we have something they'll never have. We're fighting for freedom, not power." The enemy fleet appeared in a flash of light near Jupiter. Hundreds of purple ships filled space, their weapons already charging. High Admiral Venrock stood on his flagship's bridge. "No more games," he growled. "Destroy them all." The battle began. Green beams from Empire ships filled space, but they couldn't break through the Coalition's quantum shields. The Defender led the defense, its blue shield glowing as it protected Earth. "Coalition ships, target their power cores," Rachel ordered. Dr. Wright found their weakness. Jack Sullivan's shots led the way, showing their allies where to hit. One by one, Empire ships lost power and drifted in space, but there were so many of them. The Coalition fleet was surrounded, fighting enemies on all sides. "Commander," David called out, "3 ships got past us. They're heading for Earth." Rachel turned to respond, but alien voices came through the radio first. "Earth protected us," said one Coalition captain. "We'll protect Earth now." 5 ships from different worlds broke away from the battle. They chased down the Empire ships and disabled them before they could reach Earth. The battle raged for hours. The Empire had more ships, but the Coalition had better technology and teamwork. Slowly, the tide turned. "Their formation is breaking," Emily reported. "They're starting to run." On his flagship, High Admiral Venrock watched in horror as his fleet fell apart. Coalition ships moved like dancers, working together in ways his forces never could. "How?" he demanded. "How can they beat us? We ruled the galaxy for centuries." Rachel's voice came over his speakers. "Because we don't want to rule anyone. We just want everyone to be free. That's something worth fighting for." The Empire fleet retreated, leaving dozens of disabled ships floating in space. The Coalition had won their biggest battle yet. "Status report," Rachel called out. "No Coalition ships lost," David reported happily. "Our shields held. 57 Empire ships disabled, the rest running away." Rachel looked at her crew. Emily with her clever discovery, Jack with his perfect shots, David keeping them all working together. Then she looked at the Coalition ships around them. Former enemies now fighting side by side, protecting each other. "Send a message to the Empire," she ordered. "Tell them it's over. They can keep their core worlds, but they have to let everyone else go free." Hours later, the response came. The Empire surrendered. They had finally learned that their weapons and fear couldn't beat unity and hope. The Coalition ships headed back to Earth, tired but proud. They had faced the Empire's best attack and won. "Commander," Emily said softly, "messages coming in from all over the galaxy. Hundreds of worlds want to join the Coalition now. They all saw what we did here today." Rachel smiled. The galaxy was changing, faster than anyone had expected. And it was changing for the better. "Tell them they're welcome," she said. "There's always room for more people who want to be free." 1 year after the great battle near Jupiter, Earth had changed. Spaceships from 100 different worlds filled the skies. Aliens walked the streets of every major city. Humanity had truly joined the galaxy. Rachel Cooper stood in the new Galactic Federation building in Geneva, looking out at the busy spaceport. The Ennis Defender sat among ships from across the galaxy, its blue hull still proud but no longer alone. "Hard to believe it all started with one ship," David Martinez said, walking up beside her. He wore the new Federation uniform, but his friendly smile was the same. Rachel nodded. One ship and a lot of hope. They were waiting for the first meeting of the Federation Council. After the Empire's defeat, the coalition had grown into something bigger, a true union of free worlds. Emily Wright hurried into the room, carrying her datapad. "The AI integration is complete," she reported. "Every Federation ship can now talk to each other instantly. No more communication delays." The Federation fleet was now the strongest force in the galaxy, but they used their power differently than the Empire had. They protected freedom instead of taking it away. In the main council chamber, Lisa Reynolds prepared to speak. Representatives from 200 worlds filled the seats. Even some former Empire worlds had joined, after their people chose freedom. "The galaxy has changed," Lisa began. "1 year ago, the Zarin Empire ruled through fear. Today, we all work together as equals." Jack Sullivan watched from his seat. He no longer trained gunners for war. Now he taught Federation crews how to protect peaceful ships from pirates and criminals. "The Empire made a mistake," he told his students. "They thought strength meant standing alone. Real strength comes from standing together." In the spaceport, Kevin Foster showed a group of alien engineers the latest Federation ships. They had taken Earth's quantum technology and made it better by working together. "Every world brings new ideas," he explained. "We're all learning from each other now." The Zarin Empire still existed, but it was small now. They kept only their home systems. Their mighty fleets were gone, and their fear had no more power. Admiral Cooper, a young officer, called to Rachel. She was still getting used to her new rank as Fleet Admiral of the Federation forces. "Yes?" "New reports from the Exploration Fleet. They found 3 more worlds ready to join the Federation, and the research team thinks they found another ancient ship, like the one from Antarctica." Rachel smiled. The galaxy was full of wonders, now that people could explore it freely. In the council chamber, Lisa finished her speech. "Let us remember how this began," she said. "One ship stood up against an empire, but more importantly, one world stood up for what was right. Earth didn't want to rule the galaxy. We wanted to free it." The chamber erupted in cheers. Aliens who once fought each other now worked together, building something better than an empire. On the Defender's Bridge, now a training ship for new Federation crews, David looked at the latest star maps. The Federation's blue color now covered most of the galaxy. "Think we'll ever go back to how it was before?" he asked Rachel. "Just humans on Earth, not knowing about the rest of the galaxy." Rachel watched ships from a dozen worlds take off from the spaceport. Each one carried people working to make the galaxy better. "No," she said, "and that's good. We're part of something bigger now. The galaxy isn't ruled by fear anymore. It's guided by hope." Emily joined them, looking at the new ships rising into the sky. "And it all started because we decided to help others instead of just protecting ourselves." Outside, the sun was setting over Geneva. Federation ships glittered in the orange light, their hulls shining with all the colors of all the worlds they came from. The galaxy had changed forever, and it had changed for the better. Not because Earth was strong, but because Earth had shown that real strength comes from working together. And somewhere out there, other worlds were learning the same lesson. The age of empires was over. The age of freedom had begun.